and discredited by local media. Larry King was never called to testify. Evidence shown to the grand jury had been tampered with. Victims were targeted as a result of their testimonies. After giving his testimony, one victim was found in a hospital room dead. There was evidence that he was drugged and beaten prior to his death. In total, there were 15 suspicious deaths surrounding the Franklin cover-up. In 1993, a documentary detailing the Franklin cover-up, called The Conspiracy of Silence, was produced by the Discovery Channel. In the day it was set to be aired, it didn't. Rumors were that someone paid $500,000 to revoke the television rights. But now you can find the documentary online and watch it. So why is the Franklin cover-up important to bring up now? I believe if we never learn from history, we're doomed to repeat it.
The media immediately started discrediting the witnesses. The witnesses came across in the media, in the Omaha World Herald, especially, as the criminals.
The last 3 victim witnesses were demolished by the press, particularly the Omaha World Herald.
And they didn't ask me very much about Larry King or even Alan Bear at all. They treated the allegations that I made about the people who abused me almost like a joke.
Apparently, some alt-right folks were combing through Clinton campaign emails hacked by Russia and published by WikiLeaks and noticed there seems to be more references to pizza and pizzerias than they had expected. A lot of uninformed, gullible people fell for the Clinton Podesta sex ring theory. So WikiLeaks, Alex Jones, and these subreddit subgeniuses, and I mean this in the nicest way possible, grow the up.
They were always called conspiracy theories. They would always report that the police said there was no evidence or that the theories were debunked. The New York Times, Guardian, and Washington Post have been caught deleting posts and articles weeks after publishing them. For those people who take their daily dose of the world in 30 minutes or less from the likes of those corrupt channels, Pizzagate was closed for them, though it had already been blown right open. They moved on with their lives, forgetting any mentioning of satanic sex rituals, child rape, torture, and trafficking. But thankfully, and unfortunately for a few, they pushed on. The likes of Seth Rich, who is said to be behind the 2016 Democratic National Committee email leaks that helped bring attention to all of this. He was fatally shot and killed. And John Podesta, the man who had thousands of emails leaked implicating him to Pizzagate, said this: "I'm definitely for making an example of a suspected leaker, whether or not we have any real basis for it." That shot rang out and let everyone investigating this case know just how real Pizzagate is.
How many girls are missing in D.C. this month? Hundreds. But until LL Cool J tweets it out, nobody does anything.
Right now, that's a good question. Letting people speak. All these good folks are calling for and have looked at overwhelming evidence that most reasonable people would agree warrants an investigation into the D.C. child trafficking pedophile scandal, commonly known as Pizzagate or Pedogate. And that's why we're here today, to demand that the authorities investigate this, and if there's any guilty parties found, indict and arrest. And we've got sign number 4 over here.
They're supporting sex trafficking, and it's a world.
We all know Anthony Weiner, right? Now just think about it. His wife's boss is running for the presidency of the United States. And what's he doing? He's sexting an underage girl.
Our kids to come and play at.
About an organization that had so infiltrated the American government.
The more money that they can accumulate, the less there is for the rest of the rituals to invoke. Yeah. It's that hate. You know, when I started thinking in those terms, suddenly other things.
Right now, that's a good question.
The stuff that you're sitting on, is an October surprise in there? Do you even know what you're sitting on?
WikiLeaks never sits on material. Whistleblowers go to significant efforts to get us material, and often very significant risks. As a 27-year-old works for the DNC, who was shot in the back, murdered just 2 weeks ago for unknown reasons as he was walking down the street in Washington. So
that was just a robbery, I believe, wasn't it?
No, there's no finding. So
what are you suggesting? What are you suggesting?
I'm suggesting that our sources take risks, and they become concerned to see things occurring like that.
But was he one of your sources then? I mean,
we don't comment on who our sources are.
But why make the suggestion about a young guy being shot in the streets of Washington?
Because we have to understand how high the stakes are in the United States.
The Podesta emails released by WikiLeaks in 2016 are riddled with incoherent code words about pizza, hot dogs, ice cream, cheese, handkerchiefs, swimming pools, among so many other things. To understand just how grotesque these messages are, you have to understand the symbolism in the language. To know this is to know why this entire scandal has become known as Pizzagate. In the sick underworld of pedophilia, hot dog refers to boy, pizza, girl, cheese, little girl, pasta, little boy, ice cream, male prostitute, walnut, person of color, map, semen, sauce, orgy, domino, BDSM, pillows, drugs, oysters, sedatives, and chicken, young boy. You probably never heard about this for a couple reasons. Of course, pedophilia is extremely evil and illegal, and the wealthy elite do not want you to know that they are kidnapping, selling, raping, torturing, eating, and murdering little children. That's why they communicate through the dark web, a place you probably know little about. And even if you did know a little something about it, it's a very difficult world to access. And even if you could, would you even have the stomach to stay there for more than 20 minutes? These code words have existed there for a long time. It is in their culture, and they are used by child sex traffickers, child abductors, child pornography producers, satanic child torturers, and those who are browsing this black market for their next child victim.
On the darknet, you have access to anything. It's basically an uncensored internet when it comes to being able to buy and sell anything you can imagine. It is a billion-dollar industry to trade in child pornography. The child pornography industries and going into the human trafficking industries are just like forums where you would go and buy drugs, which we will see.
Blogger Ace of Swords claims the code words used are, quote, very well established early internet and dark web code words for child porn, pedophilia, and BDSM, end quote.
And I think it's the same girl. As you can see, her stomach there is covered with something. He comes over with some type of handkerchief and he's wiping her. He was trafficked in Houston, Texas by the elite pedophile ring, a human trafficking of women and children and babies. Go forward. Oh my God. It's sideways. See, this is a new one.
There are places on the dark web known as red rooms. It is where people or children are kidnapped and broadcasted over live stream while they are being raped and tortured and murdered. This was represented in an independent Serbian film. This is how all of that snuff, as you have heard it, gets produced and sold on the dark web.
The former bassist from the Scorpions, Ralph Reicherman, has admitted that he once attended a snuff party where someone or multiple people were murdered for the entertainment of the guests, who paid up to $100,000 to attend. Reicherman, originally from Germany, bumped into a paparazzi from TMZ who asked him about Berlin's popular fetish parties, and this was his stunning response.
I went to one time. I've seen really bad.
Was it like a donkey show or?
No, actually, I think they actually kill people there and stuff. They pay like up to like 100,000 people to see people get
executed.
I'm not kidding.
There are actually viewers that log into these sites and pay with anonymous cryptocurrency, not only to watch these innocent people face the most horrendous and despicable acts imaginable, but to participate. They can pay more money to command the torturer what to do next to the victim. It is very similar to the movie Hostel.
T'es vraiment malade. Espèce de pute. Espèce de petite pute.
Je reçois beaucoup d'argent pour toi. Alors dis plutôt que c'est toi ma petite pute.
Mais qu'est-ce que vous faites? Salaud! Espèce de fumier, lâchez-moi! Vous êtes malade! Lâchez-moi! J'ai dit lâchez-moi! Arrêtez!
These animals are also doing this to little children, and these sites have been linked to Pizzagate.
Something I posted the other day about baby Brianna. I had posted up the New Mexico KRQE News 13 story about her, and it is one of the worst abuse stories I've heard in a long time. Now, what does this have to do with the deep web? Well, I posted this story, and somebody wrote me and told me this. They had told me that all the videos of what the parent, the mom, the dad, and the uncle all did to the child, they had uploaded all of it to XPlay. Now, is what a lot of people don't know is XPlay is a site that is on the deep web that is